This is London.
Welcome to another episode of LDN Capital TV. I'm Fiona Fox and we are now less than 7 days away from the biggest live show of the year, Legends Showdown. We've been talking about little else for weeks and weeks and now the day is nearly upon us. On Saturday, November 24th, LDN invades the Broxbourne Civic Hall where wrestling stars from the past and present will meet in what's sure to be an unforgettable night of action. With that in mind, we've got a very special show for you this evening to get you in the mood for this great event. First up, we've got a special interview with John Hall, the father of the current LDN champion. He's going to be sharing his memories of the World of Sport era and giving his opinion on some of the legends of yesteryear that will be appearing in the showdown. Always controversial, this is sure to be a fascinating interview. In the London Eye, I'll be giving you one final rundown of Saturday's card so you know exactly who you'll be seeing in action. And then later in the hour, we'll be bringing you a matchup between two World of Sport stars, Mal Sanders and the 2007 Golden Grappler winner, Johnny Kidd. This promises to be a cracking matchup and should be a delicious teaser to whet your appetites nicely for Legends Showdown. It's a packed show and there's not a moment to lose. Let's start off by heading down to the LDN ring where our cameras recently caught up with John Hall and his son, the LDN British champion, the notorious John Ritchie.
John, thank you very much for your time.
That's quite all right, yeah. I look forward to coming here when you invited me.
Fantastic. How long have you been wrestling?
About 45 years, on and off.
How do you feel?
Aches and pains, terrible. But I keep trying and trying. You must keep going all the time.
When did you first start out and who did you train by?
I first started wrestling at the Amateur United Wrestling Club at Brixton. My instructor was Jack Ingalls, who's passed away now, and Tony Merrick, he's retired and finished now. I become British champion. I can't even remember the year that I'd done it, but I become British champion. I've always kept training. Then it was a time when I thought, well, I've had my day as an amateur, and then I went to Dale Martin's and saw Jack Dale to turn professional. I had a couple of trial bouts, which I passed, and then I went on to the professional circuit.
Who's your toughest opponent in the whole World of Sport era?
They was all tough, all of them, because we all had to train hard every Sunday morning in the gym during the week. Some of the toughest guys I think I met was Peter Zakash, Sid Cooper, Alan Sargent, all very, very hard guys and all dedicated men to the training.
Fantastic. So, World of Sport era, British wrestling used to draw millions and millions of people on ITV.
Oh, yeah. If people could imagine, when I wrestled, the first time I wrestled at the Albert Hall, and I stood in the ring in the Albert Hall, is in the centre of the Albert Hall, and when I was there in the centre of the ring, I looked up, and if you can see that, full of faces, people, it's just an awesome experience. You've got to stand in the middle of the ring and look up and see all them people in the ring.
Fantastic. Wrestling's changed a lot since then. It came off the television and business declined for a long time. How was wrestling for you then? How did you see it?
Well, I just went, when the decline came, I went into back to the amateurs. I went back to the amateur wrestling, run a club, and I just stayed in the amateur ranks for the amateurs.
How do you feel about the Americanisation of British wrestling?
I think for British wrestling it's done a lot of harm.
In what way?
Well, all this jumping up and down, flying through the air and all that. If you see, there's these American guys are all getting pains, aches and pains and accidents they're having. Where we used to wrestle, like true wrestling, what it's all about, they've just spoiled it.
Fantastic. Over the last year or so, LDN have been bringing back the Spirit League, which is the British Mount Evans rules. Have you, obviously your son John Ritchie's been a big part of that.
Yeah.
And so how do you see that stuff? As a company trying to bring back the British style?
Well, yes, yeah, by all means. They've got to bring back the British style. That is true wrestling. A lot of people, they say, oh, yeah, they this and that. But every move that they do in British wrestling is a genuine wrestling hold. It all goes back to, if you really want to go into the history of wrestling, it goes back to when at Catch as Catch Can. That was, they wrestled for submission. That was Ernie Riley up in the north of England, was one of the finest gyms that done the Catch as Catch Can. But they used to wrestle for submissions. And then as I say, it was the true wrestling, what it was all about.
Absolutely. On Saturday the 24th of November at the Broxbourne Civic Hall, the Wrestling Channel LDN present a Legends Showdown event dedicated to the World of Sport era. Many people, such as Johnny Saint, will be wrestling on the show, and it's a one night dedicated to the World of Sport era. Mm-hmm. Any fond memories of any Johnny Saint? Johnny
Saint, yes. I wrestled Johnny Saint in Canterbury. I can't think of the name of the hall now. When he just won the lightweight championship, I think it was of the world, and he beat me then. But I forgave him for that. I didn't hold a grudge against him.
He'll be wrestling Steve Gray.
Steve Gray, yes. We basically started pro wrestling together at Dale Martin's.
And how did that go? Did you think?
Well, we had some tough bouts. You know, some for him and some for me. It was give and take, even Stevens.
Fantastic. Cool. Other people on the show, Kendo Nagasaki is making his return to British Wrestling, being a part of LDN for the last few months. Any memories of him?
No, not really. He kept himself to himself, stayed in the dressing room, didn't mix with anybody. So that's all I can say about him.
Fantastic. And also for the LDN British Championship, your son John Ritchie defended his belt against Yorgos. It's a big match for John. Must be quite proud.
Well, Yorgos, what is he? A newcomer, just coming into the ranks, doing this, doing that. What are we going to do? Wring his neck, stuff him like a chicken.
So you're confident he's going to win then, John?
Oh, definitely. We're there. We're training for it.
Fantastic. You got any last words at all?
No, just tell August that we're there waiting for him. We're ready for him. All these rumours, that's why I'm here tonight. All these rumours, I've heard that as things go on, that they are against John for his skill, his dedication. They're against him, but we're here to see that it is done correctly, that there is no skullduggery going on around the ring or anything like that. People trying to just deface him, and that we are here to see that it's done, and I'm here to see that justice is done, and there will be no skullduggery going on outside that ring. So you can tell August, whatever his name is, we will be here to win.
Fantastic.
And that is that.
Any last words for our audience who'll be watching the Legends Showdown?
Well, I'm back. I've wrestled here a few times, got beat a few times, but I don't hold that as a grudge or anything like that. But it's just nice to be back, standing up here in the ring, and I wish everybody a good evening, and I hope they enjoy themselves. And British wrestling comes back.
John, thank you very much for your time.
No problem.
Only a couple of weeks away before you take on Yorgos Christopoulos for the LDN British Championship. Your biggest match today. How are you feeling?
Good. I'm ready for Yorgos. I can't wait.
You've been a big part of the Spirit League for LDN. You've been in the forefront of it. You're the first man in LDN to wrestle in a rounds match. What's the history with you in the rounds?
Well, I started with Dale Martin's. It was the biggest promotion in the country in 1978. And I've preferred that type of wrestling ever since.
Your father, John Hall, is here tonight as well. You look forward to having him in your corner?
Of course.
We've trained for this fight for him.
Fantastic.
We are going to be winners. Please tell the public we are winners.
You also run Dropkicks Wrestling in LDN's Romford Training School. How's that going? And
both very good schools. We're getting some great wrestlers coming out. John Hall guests as trainer a lot. We have a lot of guest trainers. And we think we're producing, well, the best wrestlers in the country at the moment at both gyms.
Fantastic. How's your feelings on World of Sport?
World of Sport was okay. I preferred the 60s more than the 70s. I'm not sure whether they class that as World of Sport. Sports night, I think, but That's the style of wrestling I preferred, and that's
They were
what I try and
men. They were
portray.
men in the early days.
They was men. I'm the only
They were
man
men.
left.
Fantastic. And like I said, we've got many legends on the show. Johnny Saint, Kendo Nagasaki, Steve Gray, Johnny Kidd. What's your fondest memory? Any fond memories of any of them at all?
No,
None whatsoever.
no, none at all.
Have you got any fond memories of your dad at all?
Of course, yeah.
You feel
I've
fantastic.
seen some great wrestling matches with my father.
Any particular favourite moments at all?
What, mine or his?
Your dad's?
Yeah. John Cortez bouts,
John Cortez.
Peter Zakash, Mark Rollerball Rocco. Those are all great matches. Yeah.
Fantastic. Got any last words for Yorgos at all?
The Yorgos. A man that is only injured slightly will seek revenge. Now, a man that is injured gravely will seek no revenge. Therefore, the injury that I will inflict on Yorgos will be such that he can't seek revenge.
Thank you for your time.
No problem.
Yeah. Just tell him that he's beaten and not even bothered to show. We're here to win, and we will win.
Is London.
I'm Fiona Fox and welcome once again to the London Eye. It's been months in the making, but now it's finally here. This Saturday at the Broxbourne Civic Hall, the stars from the world of sport will do battle one last time at Legends Showdown. This spectacular event is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to see some of the old greats of our sport one more time. So many stars and so little time, let's have one last rundown of the show. James Mason versus Mal Sanders. James Mason has been wrestling up and down the country for years, but still has youth on his side. Mal Sanders is a bona fide star from the world of sport era. When these two clash, which will prevail, youth or experience? Johnny Kidd versus Brian Goldbelt Maxine. Brian Maxine has been wrestling since the 1960s, even had a hit single to his name earlier in his career. Although he's now getting on in years, he proved he can still take care of himself earlier this year when he knocked out Danny Garnell with a vicious KO punch. But he's going to have his work cut out for him against Johnny Kidd. Kidd, who's also a World of Sport alumni, not only competed in but won the 2007 Golden Grappler Tournament after a gruelling 30-minute match with the Mediterranean sensation Yorgos. I for one can't wait for this match. Johnny Saint versus Steve Gray. What can we say about Johnny Saint that hasn't been said before? The man made his pro debut in 1958 and held the World Welterweight Championship for over a decade. A true household name and a fondly remembered star, at Legends Showdown, Saint will be coming out of retirement for his first match since 1996. His opponent Steve Gray is no slouch either. In his lengthy career, he's held the European Lightweight, World Lightweight and British Welterweight Championships. This one should be a belter. Yorgos versus the notorious John Ritchie. Alongside the stars of yesteryear, you'll also be seeing the legends of tomorrow face off for the biggest prize in the UK today, the LDN British Championship. John Ritchie has held the title since the beginning of 2007 and proved that he'll go to any lengths to keep it. But Yorgos has worked hard all year, taking on all comers and backing down from no one. At Legends Showdown, he'll finally get a chance to get his name in the history books as he takes on Ritchie for the belt. And of course, who could forget the big one? The Kendo Nagasaki versus Lloyd Ryan grudge match. After being best friends and business associates for over 20 years, Lloyd Ryan and World of Sport legend Kendo Nagasaki recently had a falling out that could only be settled one way, in the ring. Ryan and Nagasaki have each put together a tag team to represent them, and at Legend Showdown the situation is set to explode. Lloyd Ryan has recruited his own son Damien and the man who should rightfully be the owner of the Kendo Nagasaki Sword of Excellence, Robbie Brookside. Ryan has given them only one instruction: destroy Nagasaki. But will the team of Robbie Brookside and Damien Ryan be enough against Kendo's combo? Kendo has recruited a young wrestler who he feels should hold his Sword of Excellence, Jackie Steele. And teaming up with Steele is a contemporary of Nagasaki's, fellow World of Sport legend Blondie Barrett. This is potentially the biggest tag match to take place in the UK for decades. On top of all these great matches, there's also going to be guest appearances from a number of other legends elsewhere on the show. And in the afternoon, you'll have a chance to meet all of them at a very special meet and greet. We really can't wait to see you there, but with less than a week to go, you'll have to act fast. Tickets are selling like hotcakes, so log on now to ldnwrestling.com for more info, or you'll be left out in the cold. That's Legends Showdown at the Broxbourne Civic Hall this Saturday.
Well, here he
comes, and this, even getting this far, has got to be considered something of a career highlight for Phil Powers, and indeed his opponent tonight, Robbie Brookside. They are through to the final of the Kendo Nagasaki Tournament of Excellence.
Of the Sword of Excellence, that neither of you met the criteria to be a winner. That is the end of it. You can forget it. Neither of you were good enough. That's the end of it.
Where's the sword? Give me the sword now.
Whoa, Robbie Brookside just upturned the table.
Give me the sword!
And Brookside wants that sword.
Come on! Come on, fat boy, give me the sword! Right, Brian, give me the sword! Come on! He's got me down there for us. Give me it now!
Well, Brookside is out of control, but maybe he's got a point. And I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted to do this if it wasn't absolutely necessary. And again, Kendo Nagasaki and Lloyd Ryan are leaving the building. Robbie Brookside, quite rightly, demanding that Sword of Excellence that he won.
Nagasaki! I know that you're there, and I know that you can hear it. I came here today to win a championship sword. I don't care about spoiling for the swords. That man has terrorised my career, and I will never take it no more.
Harsh words there from Brookside. We haven't seen the last of this, but we are out of time. We'll join you next week again on LDN Capital TV.
This is London.
Well, fans, what a matchup we have got for you right now here on LDN Capital TV.
He is the LDN Golden Brother 2007 #1, Johnny Kidd.
Two wrestling stars squaring off here in LDN. Only on Capital TV will you see this matchup. Spirit rules, 6 5-minute rounds, two masters of the sport squaring off for your entertainment here on Capital TV this week. Less than 7 days before Legends Showdown, the biggest show in the history of LDN wrestling. And I've got a feeling we are going to see a taste of what's to come right here, right now, as Sanders prepares to take on Golden Grappler 2007 tournament winner, Johnny Kidd. Mal Sanders and Johnny Kidd, of course, two bona fide legends of British wrestling, both of whom we will see at the Broxbourne Civic Hall on Saturday, November the 24th for Legends Showdown. Johnny Kidd, of course, has got a big matchup lined up against gold belt Brian Maxine. And with less than 7 days to go until that huge event, which we want you to be a part of, these two stars are locking up now here in the middle of the ring. Sanders with a wrist lock, and Johnny Kidd looking for that reversal, and he gets it with a nice roll through there from Johnny Kidd. And these men know each other so well. Good cartwheel there from Johnny Kidd, not even getting caught that time. These are two legends of the sport. These two men have been around a long time, and they are still going, and they are still in great shape. Johnny Kidd, of course, the 2007 Golden Grappler tournament winner. Mal Sanders still a very successful competitor in his own right. He is in great shape. You can see that just by looking at him. And this year alone, he has had fantastic matches against the likes of Steve Gray, who you will also see at Legends Showdown. Sanders going after that left leg, maybe looking for an early submission, just twisting that ankle round. Kidd uses his body weight to roll through and relieve the pressure. But Sanders, so much experience, and again Kidd preempting his every move and rolling through. And the experienced Mal Sanders joined for this match perhaps only by Filthy Phil Powers as his corner man. Kidd looking for a half Nelson, and he seems to have it on, but he's backed into the ropes by... He's been backed into the ropes by Sanders, and Phil Powers puts on the hold. Referee Chris Roberts having a stern word with Phil Powers, but while Roberts' back is turned, Mal Sanders has got a finger in every facial orifice. Oh my goodness! Two up the nostril, two in the eye, and he is pulling those lips back over the front teeth. And I wonder where Mal Sanders learnt tactics like that. Let's just say the sudden appearance of Filthy Phil Powers in his corner might not be such a coincidence. Very unpleasant tactics there from Mal Sanders. And again, this is just the first round of a 6 5-minute round matchup. And again, Phil Powers back on that apron. Again distracting the referee. And again, Sanders goes back to those nostrils. He can't keep his hands out. And now Mal Sanders providing the distraction. And Phil Powers laying some heavy right hands in on the outside on the apron. And Johnny Kidd's in trouble. Johnny Kidd knows he's got to get out of there and back into the middle of the ring. And Phil Powers getting rather more involved than your average corner person ought to do. Sanders with the nerve hold, nicely countered by Johnny Kidd. And Mal back into those ropes, forces a break. Both wrestlers so experienced, so much ring awareness, great positioning from both men. The contest goes back to the middle of the canvas. And a hair pull there, I'm sure that was a hair pull from Mal Sanders, and I think the referee saw it on that occasion too. Sanders too quick, breaks the hold, and continues to work on that left arm now of Johnny Kidd, and stamps on the hand, and the right hand for good measure. And Johnny Kidd is having a tough time of it here in what is turning into effectively a handicap matchup. And Phil Powers biting that hand on the outside. What a disgusting individual he is. And Johnny Kidd less than 7 days away. Less than 7 days away from Legends Showdown. This matchup is going to take a lot out of both men. The bell rings there for the end of round one. And Sanders and Phil Powers, thick as thieves there. They're having a great time. And Johnny Kidd has taken a pounding so far. And I think the referee having a word with them. He knows exactly what's going on, even if he can't prove it. Just warning Sanders he's going to be keeping a close eye. I think Johnny Kidd, having words as well, might be considering making an official complaint. And Mal Sanders appears to be fiddling with his midriff. I'm hoping that he's just got an itch he's scratching there. We will see. Well, I'm not sure. He's certainly fiddling with his tights. Johnny Kidd trying to get the fans here behind him. And this is a great matchup between two legends of the sport. Nice side headlock there from Mal Sanders. But Johnny Kidd goes down like a ton of bricks. And again, Sanders fiddling with his tights. And Sanders receives a public warning, and the referee knows there is something, and Johnny Kidd pointing it out, but referee Chris Roberts can't find anything. And we saw there a great shot from our cameras. Mal Sanders handed that foreign object back to Phil Powers, and the referee's never going to find it. Well, there it is again. And again, Johnny Kidd lands like a sack of potatoes. And he's saying it must be in the tights. It must be in the tights, but fans, we know here at home that Sanders passed that object, whatever it may have been, back to Phil Powers. And they could do a strip search of Mal Sanders, but they're never going to find it, because that bald man there has got it. What a despicable individual he is. Sanders again going back to that side headlock. But it's a mistake because Johnny Kidd counters. And now Sanders is on the defensive for the first time. Whipped across the ring into the corner. Kidd coming in. And a great big nerve hold there. And he's in the face. He is rubbing that face. And he is getting some small measure of revenge for the punishment that Sanders has dished out all match. And now stomping the hand as well. Revenge is sweet for Johnny Kidd. And Mal Sanders calling for a timeout. And we certainly don't have them here in LDN. Nonetheless, he has stepped outside the ring to gain some brief respite from the onslaught that's coming now from Johnny Kidd, the 2007 Golden Grappler Tournament winner. Johnny Kidd, of course, defeating Yorgos in a great matchup here on Capital TV to win that tournament just a few months ago. He defeated Yorgos, a man less than half his age. And let's not forget, in less than 7 days' time, at the Legends Showdown in the Broxbourne Civic Hall, Yorgos has got a shot against LDN champion John Ritchie. And that's going to be a great match along with all the others. Sanders going back to that devastating nerve hold, and there really is no counter. Johnny Kidd trying to... Oh my! Well, Kidd raised his fist, And Chris Roberts held him back. And Mal Sanders took advantage of that in a dreadful way. That was an accident there from Chris Roberts. But Johnny Kidd received a blow to the stomach. And back to that nerve hold, and Johnny Kidd, he is being incapacitated very quickly indeed. And again, Chris Roberts holds him back. But while he's doing so, Mal Sanders with the fist, and Sanders has already scored one public warning, and we are only in the second round. Sanders continuing to stamp those hands, and while the referee has a go at him for that, Phil Powers laying the boot on the outside with a flurry of right forearms, and he is choking out Kidd on the outside and just suffocating him against that ring apron. And the fans are going wild. They've got a great view. Our cameras here have got a great view, and it seems the only man who doesn't know what's going on is LDN referee. Big clothesline there from Sanders. And Sanders, as I said earlier, is in great shape. But my goodness, he has been slingshotted into his own partner. His own cornerman, Phil Powers, finally gets a taste of his own medicine. And the fans here are delighted. And Powers has been neutralised in this contest. He received a big bump to the head. And there's the bell, and that's the end of the second round. And this has been a back and forth contest. Fans, I don't believe it. We have got to go to a break, but this matchup will continue. Don't go anywhere.
This is London.
And Kidd sending out a warning, but he was distracted by Powers. Sanders goes behind. And again, a trapezoid nerve grip, but this time Kidd finds a counter for it. And he is resting Mal Sanders on the shoulders. But again, Sanders back to the nostrils. And he is just twisting back that wrist. The left arm, again, it has taken a lot of punishment in the contest. Sanders may get a submission. Kidd stands up, rolls through for a cover and just a 2 count. And these two men who know each other so well, both of whom have wrestled professionally for over 20 years. They know every move in the book, every counter, every reversal, and you are seeing it right here. Two legends of the sport going at it less than 7 days before the big Legends Showdown at the Broxbourne Civic Hall. We want you to be a part of it, fans. This is a sneak preview of the kind of action you will only see here at LDN, here on TWC Fight. A roll up there from Johnny Kidd, that could be all. And he gets it on the first fall. The first fall in round 3 goes to Johnny Kidd. But how much did that take out of Kidd? He caught Mal Sanders off guard, and indeed Sanders is back up first, and Kidd looks to be in agony. Phil Powers, of course, protesting. Oh my goodness! A big kick there between rounds from Mal Sanders. Very poor sportsmanship indeed. And this matchup has exploded in a big way. One fall to Johnny Kidd in round 3. But Sanders very much in control, and a big boot to the midsection of a still grounded Johnny Kidd in between rounds. Referee Chris Roberts doing his best, but it's just too much, and another boot to the ribs. And the round beginning, and Kidd never even made it back up to his feet, and he won the last round. So Kidd with the numerical advantage. But Mal Sanders certainly in better shape at this stage in the contest. And Johnny Kidd very much the worse for wear after 3 rounds of great action. Nonetheless, Kidd is 1 fall up. And that is a big advantage to have against a man like Mal Sanders. And at this stage in the matchup, round 4 of 6. Kidd might have to go on the defensive here. He is one fall up, but I don't know if he's got the power to cement that lead, to get that second winning fall. He may have to go on the defensive and do the very best he can, just to hold on to that one fall advantage. And a second and final public warning for Mal Sanders. He was choking out Kidd on that top rope, and Phil Powers is livid on the outside. And again, Powers providing a very powerful, potent distraction. And Mal Sanders back with those fingers to the nostrils, thumbs in the eyes, hooking back those gums. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Fans, tickets for Legends Showdown are selling out fast. Check it out on ldnwrestling.com if you want to come. We would love to see you there. You will see both of these men in action, plus many more World of Sport legends. Kendo Nagasaki will be in the building. Blondie Barrett will be wrestling. Wayne Bridges and Johnny Kincaid will be there. Brian Goldbelt Maxine is scheduled to be in action. Plus the LDN British Championship will be on the line as John Ritchie defends against Yorgos. It is going to be the biggest show in LDN wrestling history, and we are desperate for you to be a part of it. You are not going to want to miss it. And a big move there from Johnny Kidd. A desperation move, but it might just have paid off. It might just have paid off because Sanders is in trouble. Whipped into the corner. Sanders gets out the way just in the nick of time. And Johnny Kidd is back down on his knees. And Sanders, although one fall down, is in control of this contest. And he is just bending that arm back at the top rope. And he has been working on that arm throughout the matchup. And you can see Johnny Kidd's left arm hanging limp at the side of his body. Sanders can certainly feel it, and he whips him across the ring. And even Powers on the outside, rubbing salt in the wound, so to speak. He's going to pull it out of its socket. He is going to pull that arm out of its socket. And Phil Powers should have been banned from ringside at the beginning of the matchup. And an instant submission there. Back on that left arm from Mal Sanders. And Sanders pulls a full back. And at the end of round 4, it is one fall apiece. And it is very, very clear indeed to see that Johnny Kidd is in a bad way. Phil Powers should have had his cornerman license suspended long ago. But look at the arm of Johnny Kidd, and again, he didn't get back to his corner at the last round. And he is still down this round as well. He has not been back to his corner now for 2 rounds. And he spent the whole of that rest period on his back. And his arm is limp by its side. It looks to be twisted awkwardly. I don't know if Powers did pull it out of its socket. Nonetheless, Mal Sanders continuing to work on the left arm. Continuing to twist the wrist, bend the elbow and pull back at the shoulder. And he pulls it down on that top turnbuckle. And again, Johnny Kidd in agony. You can see the look etched upon his face. Just flipped across the ring, lands on his back. And all he can think about is that elbow joint. Stomped on there by Mal Sanders. And we are in round 5. One fall apiece. 2 legends of the sport going at it. Less than 7 days till Legends Showdown. And Mal Sanders dominating here against the Golden Grapplers winner, Johnny Kidd. Nice reversal there from Johnny Kidd out of nowhere. Fantastic technique from the Golden Grapplers winner. And a beautiful standing drop kick there, right on the arm of Mal Sanders. A unique way of breaking a hold like that. But Johnny Kidd is desperate. And on that case, his desperation did not pay off. Sanders back to that left arm, a wrist lock on. And he hoists up Johnny Kidd by one arm. And an instant submission. submission there, an instant submission, and Mal Saunders wins the matchup. Kidd has taken so much punishment on that left arm, and that was just too much for him. Let's get another look. Can we see another look at the finish of that? Saunders with the wrist lock, Johnny Kidd in a world of hurt, hoists him up on one arm, and there's no way Johnny Kidd can continue. After 5 rounds of punishment on that left arm, Johnny Kidd, less than 7 days away from Legends Showdown, instantly submits 2 falls to 1. Your winner, Mal Saunders. Legends Showdown, Saturday, November the 24th, at the Broxbourne Civic Hall. We will see you